Hello there, and welcome back to Breck to the Future, a podcast where we are spotlighting builders, talking about breakthroughs, and sharing bold ideas that are going to shape civilization's next chapter. A bit of a hiatus. Great to be back. Very excited to be with you all here today. So around here, just as a reminder, Breck to the Future, we're asking, the big question how do we actually build a better world? We're going to bring curiosity, we're going to bring optimism, and a builder's mindset to the big questions that are shaping our lives. I'm your host, Travis, and excited to be back and to talk about another company with you here today. So, let's, kind of set the stakes here. Let's kind of share a scenario for you. Picture this. You've got the United States electric grid. It is creaking under pressure. Already it was in bad shape, but now we have data centers that are popping up. They're powering this AI boom. They're sucking up energy like never before. We have factories that are starting to reshore and come back home. We have electric vehicles continuing to increase their share on the roads. We're just seeing them in droves. And all of this, it's going to demand a more reliable power source. Now, at the same time, we're also pushing to cut carbon emissions. We want to phase out coal if possible and take a break from imported fuels that leave us vulnerable due to global disruptions. But here's the kicker. Even with solar and wind scaling up, fossil fuels are still making up about 80 to 85% of the world's primary energy. We need something denser, we need something more consistent and scalable to fuel that next wave of innovation. And that's the energy challenge that is currently holding us back. And it's where we're seeing some of today's builders stepping in. In this case, the focus is on a compact nuclear reactor that really has the opportunity to rewrite the rules on how we generate electricity and energy in this country. So today we want to talk to you about Oklo. It's a company that's betting big on an advanced nuclear approach that wants to deliver some of the abundance that we're focusing on. So let's talk about Oklo, the origins of them, and kind of where they're at and where they've been. So Oklo was founded in 2013 by Jacob DeWitte and Caroline Cochran. They were two engineers that saw nuclear not as this, bloated, bureaucratic mess, but it was an opportunity for innovation. They ditched the old model of those massive billion-dollar plants that take billions to build, and instead they decided to shrink it down. They brought that Silicon Valley scrappiness that we love, but to energy. The flagship, the Aurora Micro Center. It's a compact, fast fission rather design that starts at 15 megawatts and can scale up to 75 megawatts in its newer versions. It's modular. It's about the size of a container, so it's easy for transportation. And also it runs on recycled fuel, nuclear fuel, like a high assay low enriched uranium. There are no smokestacks, there are no carbon emissions. It's just clean, constant baseload power that recycles this waste into resource. I mean, think of it as evolving from clunky mainframes to sleek laptops, right? Think of those images of what a computer used to look like, and now we have, something like a laptop, right? It's going to be smaller, it's smarter, and it can be deployed anywhere from remote sites to urban edges. Jacob and Caroline drew inspiration from nature itself, naming the company after the ancient natural reactors in Oklo, Gabon, where fission occurred billions of years ago without human help. And their vision, I mean, it's quite simply making nuclear inherently safe with passive systems that shut down automatically if needed. This is what ultimately cuts out the risk of those older designs. It's the kind of bold pivot that we really need and what these small teams are able to make when they refuse to accept an outdated system. I mean, I like if you haven't yet, watch the show Chernobyl. It's on HBO or Max or whatever they're calling it these days. That's where we've been and where we're going is any of those shipping containers that you see. I mean, that size and able to deliver similar results. That's the incredible entrepreneurial energy that we're seeing in very important industries like energy. This is very exciting. I mean, it's not just tinkering, right? It's tackling that core problem of energy scarcity head on. And with these AI data centers alone projected to demand gigawatts of new power, and industries like manufacturing and EVs ramping up, our grid needs to have a reliable baseload that renewables alone are not always providing. Oklo's reactors change that. These factory built, shipped out, and they're plugged in where they're needed. And again, they're delivering between 15 and 75 megawatts per unit. It's perfect for powering thousands of homes, maybe that factory that's just been built, or even a data hall that could need anywhere from 60 to 70 megawatts. But by recycling fuel, they are minimizing waste and they are maximizing efficiency. And it's driving toward that holy grail of a near zero cost energy. That is going to open up so much abundance and opportunity for the United States and the world. Now, nuclear packs a punch, right? One tiny uranium pellet can produce as much energy as a ton of coal. If we're able to scale that safely and affordably, you're unlocking massive productivity. You've got those robotics humming 24/7, you've got dark factories and automation going all the time. You have a cheaper desalination of water. You have faster innovation in education and infrastructure. It's about abundance through markets and builders. These aren't handouts. Like this is the opportunity that we have been looking at and waiting for. Now, my take on all of this, I mean, I'm not going to level with you. I'm sorry, I am going to level with you. I am not a nuclear physicist. Some days I don't even know what the heck I'm doing in my day to day, but I'm standing by an opinion without that formal expertise, and that is a bit tricky, right? But what experts have been saying, the consistency seems to be that this is the most efficient, longest lasting energy source that we have. And how do you not unlock that, right? I mean, the national security behind it, though, well, it's not fully there yet. But we need a world where cars, trucks, and everything runs on electricity so we can ditch those oil imports completely. And we are far from that. And that is going to be that would be very phased out. It's not like if we had, 10,000 of these that tomorrow we would stop accepting oil. Um, and I mean, climate wise, science is pointing towards a safe waste storage, but after the twists of the last, few years, I'm a little hesitant to accept, on that accepted science without digging deeper. But all of that said, the mix of energy independence and abundance is something that is absolutely going to supercharge this country's productivity. If costs drop to pennies, I mean, imagine the boom in everything from startups to supply chain. Now, the regulatory red tape and legacy systems are slowing down builders, not the technology itself. The technology seems to be here. It's just the regulation that we need to deal with. Now let's talk about like proof that Oklo is real, right? It's not vaporware. I mean, they are continuing to stack real wins and they're proving that they're in this for the long haul. They've raised hundreds of millions of dollars, including a $400 million IPO in June of 2025 to fuel their growth. They have heavy hitters like Sam Altman, who is OpenAI CEO, and Oklo's board chair backing them early and often. The stock continues to rip. I mean, they went public through a SPAC merger in 2024. I don't, as of this moment, because I did this episode a few weeks ago, I don't have what their market cap, but as of 4 weeks ago, it was hovering around $2.5 billion. And their partnerships, they are piling up. I mean, they have a massive 12 gigawatt clean power deal with Switch from 2024 that they signed. It's one of the largest corporate agreements signed ever. In 2025, they've teamed with Liberty Energy for a hybrid natural gas and nuclear solutions to address immediate needs, and Veritiv for integrated power of cooling in data centers. Also, Lightbridge to co-locate fuel production. So, on the deployment front, they're eyeing sites like Idaho and Ohio, Texas, and Wyoming, with 750 megawatts earmarked for U.S. data centers. The United States Air Force, believe it or not, has picked them and their microreactor for an Alaskan base in 2025, and they snagged some DOE vouchers in Department of Energy vouchers in 2025 to speed up the commercialization. So, there is a lot going on here, and it's very, very exciting. But there are bumps in the road. Their initial license application was denied by the Nuclear Regulatory Commission in 2022 because they required some additional safety details. But that forced them to redesign. They scaled up the Aurora, and they're pushing for a custom combined license. This is a first for an advanced fission company. It is resilience in action. Like we're very, very excited to see this. Now, taking a step back though, oh boy, we're gonna see what happens here. I just randomly had a very update. Maybe if I can monetize this thing, I'll be able to afford stuff that doesn't crap out here. Um, So going back to the bigger picture, there are concerns, right? It is a blueprint for how the free markets can crack any energy abundance wide open, but in the same vein, while energy independence is fantastic and we want it, we need to move to it. Um, there are stigmas. The nuclear stigma is something that has held us back for decades, right? Disasters like Chernobyl and Fukushima, those were tied to outdated designs, there were human errors, and there was, active systems that were failed. But this time is different because it's passive safety. It's using gravity and natural connections to handle shutdowns. There are no meltdown risks. Again, this is what we are being told. This is what we are excited to hear about. But ultimately, this is an opportunity to spark a new nuclear era. It's able to supercharge AI, manufacturing, economies, all while holding us to a higher standard through entrepreneurship. So at its heart, it embodies what happens when a small team can rewrite rules in the toughest of industries. They're not waiting on giants or governments, they're innovating to deliver abundance. And this is the spark for a bolder energy future. So we're very excited here. You've been listening to Breck to the Future. The builders are out there, right? They're pushing us forward. And this show is about amplifying their signal. If today's episode sparked something, please drop your thoughts on Breck to the Future. I do read every reply. We'll be back soon again for more signals and spotlights. I promise there will not be such a delay as there has been. But until then, keep building, stay bold, and let's embrace what's ahead.